Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, my fellow YouTuber. Welcome to another edition of Rita Lee's video blog. I have a couple video discussions for you. It's going to be short, sweet, and light. I know Pee Wee told me to take a break. I decided to get on this morning because I'm royally pissed off. There's two reasons why I'm pissed off. One is a big one. Second one is a bunch of malarkey, okay? Higgins wrote me last night about something that was interesting between the haves and the haves not. I want to get to that too today because frankly Higgins has is it was really interesting, okay? So this morning I want to tell you, woke up this morning. I wasn't feeling too well this morning. I got out of bed, by the way. I slept like a baby. Those pillows were great, okay? Thanks, Pee Wee, again. So, this morning, I get up. Chloe says, "Oh, do you want coffee this morning?" Yes. Well, as you can see behind me, those are 3 candles. They're lit because Chloe decided to make some tuna soup that she's home making with some whatever. The smell of the canned tuna is godforsaken and stinks. I mean, I don't know how the damn person can eat it, but here's the problem we have in today's discussion. It is simple. We have a crisis to a point. Now, I've gotten in contact with some of my connections over in certain places, the higher echelons, you could say. Yes, I only contact them when I want something. And that is usually intel. All right? The intel came back this morning after they looked into it. There's a problem, okay? Several things are coming down the pipe from what we understand, okay? I want you to listen carefully before you sit there and say the world's going to shit in the handbasket. The world's going to shit in the handbasket for reasons, yes. Those reasons, no one knows why. I'll explain it in a minute. What you gotta do is take the pliers, dig it out a bit, and then you basically do it that way. This can be salvaged. So apparently Chloe's got this soup on low she's cooking right now, and she forgot all about it. Basically stinks to high heavens. That's why we got the 3 scented candles. Okay, now let's get down to brass tacks. This is important. Higher echelon said today. This coincides with everything going on. With what's going on in the world. First of all, you guys are all panic buying. Because, these people, some of them are Democratic, higher echelon, some are Republican. Oh, no wonder why it's starting to reek. Chloe just leaves the fucking can right here, just sitting there. Doesn't have any common sense to the same. Doesn't think to put it into a contained sealed lid. See, this is why it's starting to reek severely. She just leaves it to rot in one garbage can. There. See? The thing is, you don't want this shit to basically stink, okay? Frankly, I can't stand rotting tuna cans. I opened the trash can up the other day and it was stinking to high heaven. I was like, what's that smell? It was like a quarter can of tuna sitting there. And after a while, fish can bring in these little bacteria and bugs. So I told Chloe that one can was completely sealed. I wouldn't let her basically do it, right? Until she pulled it out and tossed it away. So, anyways, that's one of the reasons. That's one of the reasons why we have the problems we do for the smell, okay? Now, you guys are wondering, okay, the higher echelon. Higher echelon said this. Reason we're having problems is because, some of them actually tune into my channel. And they have said, the higher echelons have said, and I'm talking about the way up there. I mean, the ones that, let's just say, quote unquote, the lawmakers. I know some of them. Good friends over the last 20 years. Said, and I quote, the reason we're having a pandemic is because secretly they don't want you to know that the stimulus checks basically raised inflation. So instead, they had to basically offset somehow. So your stimulus checks aren't coming from the taxpayers right now. It's been coming from other sources, i.e., the inflation's that way. Now you can say, well, what about all this prepping? Well, the prepping is a big key feature. You see, higher echelons are saying that secretly somewhere on the intel spectrum that someone apparently is going to be attacking the United States. More violence, that's what they're saying, more violence. And because of it, what happens? Well, think of it this way. Sister Pee Wee is like, oh, the people say, oh, shit's hitting the fan, right? You might want to prep, but the problem with prepping is you're going to hit roadblocks, okay? One of the roadblocks I found out this morning is expiration dates. Expiration dates. You could sit there and say, oh, well, I'm good like Higgins. Oh, I'm good. Yeah, well, here's the kicker. If you order online, be made very sure that you get the right expiration dates. Literally, I just got mac and cheese that says I have till August to eat it up. Like August 30th. So that's like 60 days. So 60 days for a box of mac and cheese. That's right. One box of mac and cheese, 60 days. I mean, literally, they're basically pulling everything out that's nearly expired and shipping it to people. And then the people that go to the Walmarts and the Safeway, they're getting the fresher things. Remember, Pee Wee said, certain stores are empty. It's the warehouse. Well, it's true, but it's also false. Basically, what's going on is the blue states, most of the blue states in certain areas are more well-stocked than red states. Intel came back that the stores are basically running more teams in certain warehouses around the country. But the problem is again, the main problem with inflation is worker shortage. The workers shortage, sister in Colorado got back too. They're all saying the same thing. We wouldn't have this problem if there wasn't a worker shortage. Now now companies have turned around and are terminating people. They're firing people because the Chairman Powell of the Federal Reserve says you got to fire 4 more million people to balance out inflation. You don't fire 4 more million people. There's enough people already not working and not giving a damn. I just saw a report that Amazon might be completely finished by 2024 to 2028. Think about it. Treating their employees like crap, and all of a sudden, no one wants to buy. No wonder why Amazon's so damn backlogged. A quarter of the people turned around and said, out of 100 people, 25% of people said they want to get rid of Amazon completely and go with the company that they can literally get their deliveries on time. On time. I mean, look at Walmart. Walmart basically is not allowing you everything on my. I contacted Walmart and I said, look, if I change over from Amazon to Walmart, mostly what you're paying for on that on the Walmart Prime, anyways, is the movie service. I mean, literally, their shipping service. They're going to change their policies again on shipping. They're going to put it next. They're going to say, well, we can't give 2 days, so we're giving you 3 to 5 or 5 to 7 ground. And I mean, they're going to basically cut more corners to save costs because they're failing. They're literally failing. They're letting they're basically like an overlord of the world, and people aren't tolerating anymore. So shipping is delayed on Amazon by and on top of that, when Amazon does ship, they're basically shipping out stuff that's in their warehouse that they get from the factory, like the factory, for example, Cracker Barrel mac and cheese. Think of it. They sent mac and cheese. That's going to expire 2 months. 2 months. I mean, literally, if you go to the grocery store, the only thing I buy is butter and milk now. I mean, literally, I went to the grocery store the other day, right? I haven't even checked the boxes that I got, but I went to the grocery store the other day, right? Got some of these. Chloe's bitching about this. But you know what the problem with these are? Usually these don't tell you right here in the package. Best by February 16th, 2024. You see? Grocery store version. I don't know what the cases that I just bought, the 4-pack cases, the 5-pack cases. But the mac and cheese. Oh, he moved everything. This. Got some more of these. Let's look at this for a second. And they're all the same. So it's just they're all the same for the same. So what we do is this. Two things I want to share with you. Okay, so this one's got 4 months left. See? 4 months. So most of these are 4 months. Just to let you know. 4 months. Yeah, 4 months. So this is 4 months. So this would be 4 months. So 4 months, you see? Mac and cheese here is almost expired that was shipped in today. So thank God you're eating that crap. I won't touch it. Using the new bowl or the old one? New one. So basically what's going on is look at the shipping problems. Mac and cheese expiration date, ramen expiration dates. You can expire dated ramen up to 3 years. Fortunately, I want you to basically make sure what you're buying, first and foremost, because of the prepping problem. 2, and this is big. Each state's different, okay? What one state is not another state, okay? So, for example, Intel says pretty much the cause of this problem is 2 reasons. One is this was a man-made problem because of good morning, Zoe. So basically, I'm not going to be here long either. But anyways, the problem is again, it's a man-made problem. People sit there and they want to blame the Democrats. It's all Biden's fault. It's not Biden's fault or the Democrats. You know whose fault it is? The intel I got back from a couple Republican congressmen I know personally said it's the fucking Republicans' fault. Anyone who's a fucking Republican needs a fucking wake-up smell what they're shoveling. So basically what's happening is simple, okay? Even Republican congressmen are telling me literally that the problem is the people. They want Biden out so bad that they're going to do whatever they can to make it happen and vote anyone out that they can. Why? Because they're the problems and they're the causing it. Right now, the Republicans are saying because of this pandemic, they don't want to work. So what happens? They're basically doing something else. So last night I had to refer to my book, by the way. By the way, books are not for burning. Books are to read. You know, before you ask this as a computer simulation farm game, highly recommend it if you have Steam. $15. You might need the book, though, to come with it, and that's like $30. So you pay $15. You can figure it out on your own or use an online thing. Or you can just buy the book. I have like every version of hardbound versions. I just refer to the latest one. I was hoping 1.6, version 1.6 came out. They have an update 1.6, and they're working on an update 1.7, I hear, but I'd like to see a 1.6 update, you know. The game's really fun, by the way. Anyways, let's just go into details, okay? So Intel came back. Basically, what's happening is simple, okay? Republicans are doing this to themselves. They're pissed. They caused this entire inflation. They caused it. Well, they caused it basically, and that's one of the reasons why we're having problems. The second problem is China. Now you can sit there and say, "How is America? How is the Republican Party the problem with inflation?" They are. They're not ponying up to the problem. That's why I'm here. You see, if they didn't sit there and signed off on the greed bill, the get rich quick greedy bill, and screw over the workers from the past, we wouldn't have this problem. But because of it, we have no. We right now we have people at home. You see, back in the day, we used to make TVs, video game system, everything we made in house in the country. But none of those companies were wanting to find a way to make a deal. And China threw a bone at them, and they all drank the Kool-Aid. And now everything's overseas, and China's like, "We have the world in we are hostage. We're holding the world hostage. You do what I say." That's what they're doing. And look what happens. China's doing this, and you're not seeing anything. You hear people say, "Oh, the ships are unloaded and everything's filling up again." Everything. The ships are backlogged. Intel just came back from someone I know in the coastal regions that have ports. They can't move anything. They can't. They can barely move it. They might get maybe 50, 150 containers out maybe in a day if you're lucky, or less, depending on the truck chassis. I mean, when you turn around here, the thing is we're literally sitting by a thread because of China. We relied on China for everything. Think of it this way. The other day, I was talking to someone who was talking to someone who was talking to someone, right? They turned around and they said, quote unquote, the mental hospitals are literally buying out of shampoo, conditioner, body wash, hand lotion, skin lotion, you name it. Just all these items because they rely on the cheapest product being made for them in the freaking for the mental hospitals, the mental facilities. They rely everything on your if you go in there and you're homeless and you don't have much, their showers, they provide you what they need. They even provide you shaving cream that is, quote unquote, made in China. There's a can of shaving cream Chloe bought for her legs as a backup. Costed $4 for her, and it's made in China. Yeah, I want you guys to think about that for a minute. Made in China. Well, the secret to stopping snacking on sweets is simple. Ask yourself, do you want to live on candy? Or do you want to prep for that prep? And by the way, before you start prepping, a tip of the day for you is check your expiration dates. Apparently, a lot of people are now prepping like crazy and they're finding out everything is nearly expired. So online, so they're ordering stuff that's coming in, and the expiration date is not what it is. So you got to ask yourself what's going to happen in the future. Yeah. Well, she says, it's 98. Yeah, by the way, just to let you know, people, second tip of the day for you. The intel came back from my own side where I used to live. If you have a broken air conditioner, good luck trying to get it replaced. Your air conditioner has failed. The problem is air conditioners are sold out, and air conditioner parts are hard to get because everything comes from China. I want to make that very visible, clear. Let me put it to you this way. I want to say something to you that might be scary, okay? So we got one viewer, one poster this morning. Moderator Zoe's with us, and then 3 others watching. Check your expiration date. Your people, the intel is coming back for a 2-way. One is on the 2-way radio to me, basically, as I call code 2-way. One is the Republicans are going to try something to basically do what they can, to basically do what they need to supposedly suppress the government, is what I understand. The intel is through my own channels. This is why they're prepping. They wouldn't prep for any other reasons. Two is they're prepping because they claim that the world's coming to an end. Well, if you Republican dipshits would wake up and smell what you're shoveling, you're basically Republican fucking greed bastard sold you upriver and sent everything to China. Think about it. You sit there and say, oh, it's Biden's fault. Really? You know what? Every fucking politician in fucking America is a fucking puppet. Yeah. So before you turn around and tell me outright that it's all the Democrats' fault, really, it's both Democrats and Republicans, you shit, and I'll tell you why. Because if it wasn't for them giving in to allowing our companies to ship overseas, we wouldn't have this problem. Think about it. You wouldn't be sitting there worried about your part shortage. It's 59 degrees. Today's temperature is simple. It's 59. Apparently the highest we're going to get this week is 73. If it gets that hot. Supposedly it is. If it is, it is. But, I want to tell you, you need to realize that air conditioners are hard to get a hold of them. If you find one, someone might bootleg it up. I call it the bootleg model because they might just bootleg the price up to the, I mean, literally, we're basically failing in everything. We're relying on China to take care of everything. Look, Zoe. See what it says? See? It says 59. I'll give you up. See? 59. Secrets of living on an island. Cooler weather, but basically you get some shitty stuff too. No, I don't want to watch a video on COVID. No, just fucking go to home, you son of a bitch. Damn stupid thing and moving a bit. Look, point I'm making is check your expiration dates, okay? That's one of the reasons why I'm here. Yeah, well, you can have all you want of the weed, but eventually you're going to have to choose. Either you're going to pay the high price of pot or you're going to buy food. Think of it. That's another thing we never talk about. Pot dispensers are going to slowly go belly up because there's not enough money to basically buy the pot. I mean, literally, has anyone ever thought about that? Pot cards or not, they're going to basically cut corners eventually. I haven't even tuned into the latest news lately. I just don't care. That's something I want to share with you. I just don't care. But right now my main concern is, why are we here? So the president's now trying to save face by offering gas refund cards. And then in Texas, some Texas Waddy wants to basically say 2020 isn't, And then, Donald Trump's basically attacking his allies. Oh, well, what's new? Who gives a shit? So Jennifer Lopez offers gender neutral for her child. Oh, well, Instacart's having problems with their food shortages. So basically, I haven't looked at stuff. Oh, did you hear about the other news? Not that we should talk about it for a second, but they're talking about transgendered thingies. You know what? I said good for the transgendered people being squished in the sports, the swimming and stuff, and the bicycle and stuff, the World Olympics and stuff. I mean, look. People sit there and say, oh, but that's discrimination, Rita. No, it isn't. We're in a pandemic, so I don't really give two shits about it. So basically, it says nearing a decision on student loan, he wants to pause the 18.73% gallon federal. Oh, so every gallon the government gets 18.3 cents. That's a bunch of bullshit because if it's true, then that's what you're getting, And the problem is this state alone charges over $1 a gallon. Even California charges more than $1. Let me look. So he wants to consider rebate cards. That's all he can do. I mean, that doesn't satisfy the people that are he's in food shortage cards too. Come on, I'm just throwing that out there for fun this morning. Food shortage cards. You see what I'm saying? So apparently, this thing that Texas is trying to do on the party platform is a proven measure that Biden not was elected. Well, Texas is one state, big deal. Rebuke the 10 GOP's backing bipartisan gun bill. Well, that's all they worry about. Their fucking guns. They don't care. They rather fucking have fucking people starve to death than fucking worry about their God-given rights. I mean, if China marched in there tomorrow, we could not fucking win. If China and Russia marched in tomorrow, we would be fucking dead. There's more people than us. Declared homosexuality, yeah, well, you know what? Look, I don't give two shits about what you're saying.
The far right don't care because they don't think it'll happen until it does.
Yeah, well, I'm going to argue with that anyways. Are you done with the soup pot? Can I turn it off?
Turn it off. I turned it off already. Oh, I have a rest later. I'll just put it in the fridge.
Look, so basically what Texas is trying to do is Texas is trying to basically turn around. And what they're trying to do is they're trying to make it legal, by the way, legal. It says right here, this is what it says. We reject the certification of Biden as the, holding the acting Joseph is not allegedly. So in Texas, they believe Donald Trump is. What a bunch of fucking dipshits. No wonder why Texas is bunch, We strongly urge all Republicans to vote in November 2022. Yeah, well, the Republicans are the fucking problem. That's the thing, and the Democrats. Before the final resolution was adopted, it says they wanted to propose an amendment about the January 6th that says the rights of those charged with crimes have been violated. But you know what? This is a country that's going down the wrong path. We keep blaming the fucking Democrats for everything. You're going to fucking have the country divided for life. No one's going to bring it together. They can open the door and bring up Mexico and Venezuela and Russia and China and everything else. That says, let's go, Brandon. Platform also included a section called homosexual abnormal lifestyle choice, opposing all efforts to validate transgender identity. Well, Texas, there you go. If you're transgendered, you better flee Texas because those Texicans are probably going to come for you. State's party platform, a spokesman touted each individual plank. No one gives two shits about transgendered healthcare and transgendered, So basically, John Cornyn might be losing his seat, apparently, because he basically wants it so mentally ill criminals can't get a gun. And more mental. So the mental system's broken. I talked about it the other day. I mean, I'm literally sitting here, basically you got to look at it from this point of view. This fucking country's gone down the shitter fast, and everyone's fucking trying to take up arms. And the inflation problem is because of it. Think of it this way. The inflation problem is what it is. Sorry about reading the news, people. Thing is, I'm not going to sit here and have people sit here and, Both sides aren't good for nothing. But you know what? Let me just tell you something, Zoe. You live in a blue state, right? You live in Illinois. Look at your both parties' platforms. See what they're and independent. See what they're for and what they're against. Vote with your heart. Fortunately, most of these jackasses aren't even worth voting for anymore. Honestly, I mean, look, what have we gotten ourselves into? A divided country and a divided people. When people think that the government owes them the sex changes, the free lunches, the free food, the free phones, the free everything. On the other hand, you got the other side saying, get off your ass and work. But what happened? Pandemic happened. And because the economy was crumbling, by the way, let's just put this on the table. I know Sister Pee Wee will probably watch this later. Hopefully I get some constructive criticism. I like her comments, though, when she does watch these. It goes like this. Republicans were the first to try to pass all these bills for stimulus. Stimulus. I mean, literally, stimulus checks were ideas of the Republicans. They think if we didn't prop up the stores, which the stores were begging for it because no one was buying and everyone was buying online, and then everything went down like this, and go to pay for the infrastructure. That one infrastructure. The infrastructure is broken. That's the thing. They're not paying for anything. Do you see where I'm going with this? Point I'm making is check your expiration dates. And two is look at it. The intel is coming back that they're stockpiling for a major reason. They're planning probably an insurrection again. That's the thing. You see these Texas hill waddies basically turning around and basically spewing crap. So you don't like transgender people. Big fucking deal. I don't like them either to a point. You don't like transgendered healthcare. You don't like same-sex marriages. Well, guess what? We live in a world where you either accept it or your state's going to get less and less funding. I mean, literally, the more you fucking do this, the less the state gets money. I mean, literally, doesn't people realize that? California gets the most money in the fucking union, followed by Kentucky and New York. Why? Because of it. That's what I'm feeling. That's what I think God was trying to tell us. There's going to be an insurrection, red versus blue, okay? Meaning Republicans against Democrats. Democrats, they think, are dumb, stupid, and unarmed, so they'll just come in and clean us all out with their guns. And the military won't do anything. And then once they get rid of the worthless eaters, they're going to basically put in a dictator in the power is what I think's happening. I mean, I don't know. God hasn't told me, but I got this gut feeling that the intel that I'm getting from my Republican friends who are in office, higher office, like I said, they're stockpiling for a reason. The preppers are prepping. This time they're prepping big time for something. And that's something that you got to think about. I mean, literally, they're basically turning around, and they're turning this around saying, well, it's Biden's fault, Biden's fault, Biden's fault, and Biden's fault. Thing is, it isn't Biden's fault. What it is it isn't Biden's fault. It's both fucking parties' fault. Think of it. The jobs turn around. Yeah, well, let's hope you're right. But let me put it this way. The government turns around, Zoe, and they're telling me that this is a man-made problem. Think about it. Just think about it for a minute. You're the audience here, okay? Let's just say you're an audience of millions watching this later, all right? But now you're one that can actually voice your opinion in the comments. Think about it for a second. I want you to actually sit down and chew on it for a minute. Sit there and literally think about it for a minute. Out of love for humanity, for example. Okay. Think about this. Man-made problem. Think of it. When did it start? Inflation started rising when Biden took the oath of office. Between November and January, there was no problems, except people couldn't afford Christmas gifts, right? Right? Am I right? Then, as soon as this comes, We didn't see the gradual inflation because we were too busy basically focusing on other issues. Last stimulus check and other things, and all of a sudden Ukraine gets invaded in 2022. But before then, what happened? Crippled the country. Literally crippled the country slowly and slowly. No one was starting to prep until after the invasion of Ukraine. Before then, no one was prepping. No one was talking about prepping. All of a sudden, Ukraine gets invaded in February, and now look, everything's talked about, about it. And who's making these up? Some of these, the intel's coming back. Some of the stores. Think of it this way. Remember what I said the other day when Higgins was around? You weren't probably around then, Zoe. I said, and I quote, the American people are turning around. And the American people are turning around. And when they're turning around, they see these recalls. Peanut butter, volunteer recall. Now they're offering actual, I complained so much, they finally started offering coupons, apparently refund coupons. Boneless chicken has salmonella. They're not refunding that. That's volunteer too. Then there was some other recalls, right? Meat recalls, right? And I said they're doing this because they want fucking people to go buy double the meat prices and replace. Throw out your old stuff. It's good. They'll just come up with some lie that your meat's tainted, and then you throw it out because you're an old biddy that's worried about food poisoning because it might kill you, which could. But that's just a lie. Then what do? They turn around, right? They turn around, right? Pay attention here, people. And what do? They go ahead and they make this lie up. They sit there and say, oh, don't worry, your gas ain't going to be affected. Your gas ain't going to be affected. This is both Democrats and Republicans. They cut off your freaking gas, right? They sold all the our oil and reserve oil out. Now you're basically paying at the pumps, but that isn't the worst of it. They turn around and they say, oh, well, I need to prep because secretly they're prepping because they want to overthrow the government again. They want a dictator, it seems. And on top of that, while they want a dictator, supposedly, the other problem is the grocery stores are fueling this. You got the preppers preparing for this. You got the preppers prepping for an insurrection, possibly, from what I understand from my sources. Then you got the other side of the fence basically telling people to prep due to the fact that they can make money this way. If they're not going to freaking get stimulus checks anymore, they might as well make up some conjuring lie to basically think everyone's prepping, and then people sit there and do it. My third intel states from people that I know that are close to in a Republican county in a Republican side of the mountains, eastern Washington, they have said that there's no problems out there, and that, the only problem they're having is no problems. So it's all a hit and miss. Wherever you're at, it's hit and miss. But they think the same thing. It's all basically spun a lie to get people to buy stuff. And because people are panicked because China has a lot of stuff, they're panicked that China's going to be screwed over. Sounds like HIV, sounds like HIV, Sounds like HIV, I think. That's what I think. Sorry, I'm just getting something. Once in a while, I get the hankering to Father's Day was yesterday, and today I thought maybe because Pee-wee's always nagging me to go outside that I might just go outside today. What do you think? And before you ask, I do want to say something. Cost of pipe tobacco is expensive. There, I've said it. Well, yeah, that's the problem, Zoe. See, you're smarter than me in a lot of ways, and I want to commend you for it. The reason I say you're smarter than me is simple. Because, frankly, you're right. They're all fucking blaming each other. They're not basically looking at what the cause is. Companies turn around. And what does companies do? They're lying now. They're lying to their constituents. They're lying to their people. They're turning around. What are they doing? They're like, oh, yes. Excuse me, I'm changing pants. But, the point is they're turning around and they're basically blaming everyone but themselves. Think of it. Let me put it to you this way. I'd like to ask you a question, Zoe. I want you to think for a second. Here's the question for all you out there, including Zoe, who's with me as moderator today. Think of it. While you sit there and you're like, oh, yeah, I hate Biden. I blame Biden. Biden's the problem. Biden's the problem. Biden's the problem. Biden ain't the fucking problem because you don't like an old man with senility. Supposedly, that gives you a right to dislike everything and blame everything on a fucking president. Look, half the country's blaming everything for Trump anyways. He's going to be probably sitting in an orange jumper soon if he keeps fucking doing what he's doing. Has anyone ever thought about that? Well, if they try, we're going to have civil war. The Army's got powerful guns and can mow you over with their newest tank. Does anyone ever understand? Think about this. Two things I want you all to think about. Zoe can reply if she wishes. One, AR-15s against fully automatic M16s with grenades on the bottom. New automatic grenade launcher. Basically a gun that's designed as a grenade launcher and fires grenades. Tanks, newest tanks. We got tanks with rockets. We got tanks with howitzer cannons. We got tanks with grenade launchers. We got tanks with 50 cals. Tank with so much armor you can't touch it. See? Now, think about this. Who's at fault? Biden? No. It's not Biden. It's both parties. But because both parties are fucking duking it out from each other, who's at fault? Not just both parties. You got one party blaming the other party blaming the other one. You got some secret cabal group stockpiling food. By the way, check your expiration dates. You might have food that's about to expire, so you better eat up and restock. But online ordering is going to get harder. That's another part of my theme. But here's the kicker. If everyone's playing the blame game, as Zoe said, here's the real kicker. Who's at fault for the pandemic buying, huh? Think of it. Some guy says to stores, I got an idea, and then they spread like wildfire. They go to bed. Let's just say Zoe here's a business associate. She says, oh, sales are down. What do we do? And I come along, I pat Zoe in the back. I'm like, hey, baby. Hey, sexy lady. I got this perfect idea how to make us money. And Zoe says, oh, really? I'm not racist or sexist, so I just threw that out there, being funny. And what happens? Turns around and says, how? Then I posted rumors somewhere on the internet. Better start prepping. The country's going down the toilet, right? All of a sudden, one person gets to another, spreads like wildfire. Next thing you know, our stores are running out of stuff. And the Democrats, they're sitting there going, oh, we have high inflation because of shipping things, right? But people like me already know. Think about it. Who's more intelligent and who's more doesn't have a following? Not me. You know why I'm not liked? I'll tell you why. A, I'm under the trans umbrella, which no one gives two shits about. And two is they want to follow some fucking dictator type son of a bitch that's telling them what they do and what they can do. You go and watch like preppers with 3, 4, 500,000 views. They're doing it to make a living. That's what they do. They sit on YouTube. They tell the fucking lies. They say, "Oh, yeah, we're going into a pandemic. I'm not feeding fear into you." But what's he doing? He's making money off of freaking people like me, like beautiful Zoe, for example. I didn't mean to use the F word for that part, but you see what I'm saying? They're making fucking money high off the hog, so they don't have to work. They just make a video every day and get 1 million views. Me, I might get like 3 or 4 views, or maybe 10 views, or 20 views. But you know what? Content creators that make quality videos. Some say, "Oh, it's my swearing that doesn't get enough." But you know what? It's the time too. The thing is, I go live to basically discuss the episode issues of the day. One of the things that Chloe thought today's issue should be short was expiration dates. But at the same time, I wanted to share with you. Hey, look what I caught. I caught a doggy. See, I caught a doggy. Hello, everyone. Apparently, my dog food gets delivered on Wednesday or Thursday this week. Did she say anything about your T-bones? She ordered you like 4 buckets of T-bones. No, she didn't say anything about my T-bones or my other things. Now, I want to share something with you that's important for this channel, okay? Oh, yeah. See? Is there anything else? Yeah, apparently she ordered a Father's Day present for you, too. Oh, that's nice of her for once. Doesn't pay the electric bill, but yeah, well, can't bitch about that. Anyways, let me tell you this. There's people out there. I gotta send Chloe out for an intel run anyways, today or tomorrow, depending on the milk shortage. We're trying to buy milk only. You might want to grab another, yeah. You might want to grab a loaf of bread too, so we don't run out of club sandwiches. Usually it takes 2 loaves, so, Look, exactly. The world is, look, Zoe. I want to say this with a heavy heart that you're completely right. Think of it. China is basically holding the world hostage. Russia's going in and wants to dictate policy, wants to go take Europe for itself. Eventually, China's going to run out of space and wants to start taking all of Asia. The only thing to attend to China, and that is, and by the way, why do you think China has a navy, huh? Aircraft carriers and bigger, trying to build a bigger fleet. Problem is eventually the world steel's going to run out, right? And iron. You can say, "Oh, well, what happens then?" Well, think of it this way. They want to take Taiwan. That's why they're getting a navy built. They want to take Japan. They want to basically build the biggest, powerfulest navy so they could take Asia first, and then go down and take the Philippines, and then take Australia. Meanwhile, Russia wants to build their powers up to take off of Europe. So there's only like, what, 2 imperial powers? I mean, there's Great Britain has some, but Great Britain and, think about it. Think about it. But the truth is here. The thing is this, and this is something I want to share with you. The truth. Think of it. Do you want to sit there and listen to people? Listen to people. You're a moderator. You are a moderator. Now, you've shown me your respect to me, and I've shown you respect. So you're a moderator. Think about this. Do you want someone to come on our channel and starts dictating their own opinions on politics? I mean, literally. Do you? That's something I want to ask you with a heavy heart. Do you? Excuse me for 1 second. I got to empty something in the toilet. about this. Sometimes Chloe keeps accusing me and calling me names, so I have to combat her, sometimes. Okay. So I basically protected myself. Chloe basically is like, you got to pay shit, you pay shit. Okay. So I need to grab the phone for a second because I got to check my balance this morning. I want to make sure we have money on it. Apparently, tried to call my dad last night. Again, but here's the problem, okay? Problem is, you and I both need to know that we're here for a reason. That is simple. The truth. Let me put it this way. There's a movie called Xerophilia, which reminds me. It's where a guy basically has sex with Molly Ringwald's character. Supposedly Molly Ringwald's cousin is different, but apparently if they have sex with another Z, or if they finger or masturbate or something, then they get to change sex. Their entire body changes sex. So, anyways, I thought I'd share that with you. I thought it was funny. Okay, so hopefully we aren't in the red, because I'm about to fucking scream at Amazon. The problem with Amazon is they turn, who the fuck messaged me now? Charge your phone. And again today, okay, so Dad called me. All right, hold on. What's wrong now? Hold on, I'm going to have to call Dad and find out what the fuck he wants. It's like 7 there? Fine, I'll call Dad's phone then. Find out, call his cell phone. He says, I've called you and again today, where are you? No, wait. I'll call him in a second. It's probably at a lodge anyways. I need this. Give me a second. I'll try and see if... My main business is the bank here. All right. Yeah. Okay. See, the fucking button popped up. That's the thing. All right, let me see what Dad wants. See if he even answers. If not, I'll be like, I'm fine. See, it's simple. Find out what he wants. You see, the problem is he doesn't answer his phone. Fuck him. That's my motto. I don't think it's healthy to talk about politics. Someone is pushing an agenda either side. Look, problem is I don't push an agenda. My motto is this, okay, Zoe? My motto is this. Both parties are to blame. Plain and simple. Both parties are to blame. You turn around and both parties are to blame. Plain and simple. I'd like to talk about something that's more to my style for a minute. Okay. To my style. And that is, everyone's blaming each other, but we're not going to get through this if we freaking keep having the infighting. That's the truth. The infighting is going to continue. Well, excuse me. That's because apparently Costco is being investigated for their chicken. Great. Look, I'd like to say something about this, but I'm not going to, okay? Because frankly, no one's going to listen. You see, Zoe, the problem is everyone's about wham, 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 the whambulance, okay? The reason for the whambulance is because they're bitching, okay? Problem they're bitching is because of the problems, okay? Here's how I see it, okay? Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but here's how I see it. Her bitching is simple. No one gives a shit about the Costco chickens. They're already raised inhumanely to make it so big so they can't walk. And then they basically have to be killed because they can't even move. So is that basically proper? No. 2 is chicken feed's gone through the roof. Costco can't maintain their chicken farm anymore. Didn't you know that? Too many people want the $5 dinners, so they're doing it. I mean, think about it. Everyone wants the $5 dinner because that's cheaper than fucking eating in. No offense. I'm just basically making a point here for anyone who's watching this. So basically, no one gives a shit about Costco. No one cares about the fucking Costco wings. Every day I price out Costco pricing and it's the same or it goes up. I'm getting to the point where I don't care. That's the point. The point is we got to check expiration dates. Oh, apparently Costco has a deal on an above ground pool. Buy pool, above ground pool, and get a $500 Costco card. I want to see the pool just because it seems cool. Type of pool do they have? I want a pool, man. Pool. No, can't have one. But it would be cool to have one. Dude, here we go. $1,400 for a 32 by 16 above ground pool that's 52 inches deep. So it's 4 feet. So you can't literally dive with it. That sucks. Foosball table? Well, you know what? I don't want a foosball table. I want a pool table. You know, I've never seen. Most likely Costco sells a lot of stuff from China. That's why you get, let me see. Got any pool tables here? Here you go. Brunswick. 3,300 billiards, 2-piece. No many people use that anymore. Yeah, and they cut it out, so they made it smaller. Yeah, figures. Green or red? Yeah. All right, let's just look over the chicken wings real quick. I want to check out wings real quick. That's what I'm doing. And frankly, no, wings are still the same price, $43. Can't believe that. They're charging for 4 pounds, $24. I mean, what is the world coming to? Yeah. So, anyways, always basically be right back. I'm not going to be here because, frankly, I want to leave soon. So I'm going to leave soon because the comments are done. I got things to do. It's called Stardew Valley. Eventually, I want to do that after I take a break outside for a minute. I haven't had my daily break in 3 days. Wind's been up, picking up. I only go out when it's not windy. And, well, I think today is the day I could basically sit down with the captain's hat eventually and smoke a pipe. The pipe makes me think. Right now, I'm very cranky because no one's listening. I love this book, by the way. I mean, this book is basically awesome, Is that all they have is the deluxe bed? Yeah, I bought the calendar and the workbench, but I never used the wood chipper. So apparently, what, you can have up to 2 kids in this game? I don't know. Anyways, basically, I'm just reading up on things, I'm just curious. I didn't even know the book cover has something to do. That's pretty damn cool. Yeah, eventually I want to get through fall so I can start winter, and winter is going to be awesome because I can actually go down through the mines again. Trying to mine, I'm at level 50, so I'll go through 50 to 120, reset it, and then go down again. That's how I accumulate a lot of ore without buying it. Need to check something else. I have other quests. Yeah, and that helps me with my money too, by the way. I'm trying to see something. Here it is. Is this what it is? Year 3? Well, at least you know. So, huh. So, anywho, you guys are basically sitting there. I'm not going to be spending all night discussing things, but the pandemic is going to basically go away eventually. The problem is, what side are you going to be on in the fence? Because frankly, I'm not going to have infighting, and I surely am not going to let these Texas waddies try to dictate policy in Washington either, because these Texas hootenannies are dipshits. Eventually, people are going to need to realize that there's problems. And those problems are what they are. It's just problems. So, and because I'm not going to hang out anymore, I'm going to probably possibly leave due to the fact that I'm not going to stand around here and act like an idiot while no one's commenting. I've made my peace with you guys today. Check expiration dates. Check expiration dates. And think about what I said. This could all be leading up to a full attack, and these preppers are trying to lie to you. I mean, literally, is the world coming to an end? Every freaking 4 years, they keep talking about it. Hell, there's channels out there that's been talking about it for 15 years, and it hasn't happened yet. I mean, think about it from different perspectives. You know. Because frankly, I've already wasted an hour today. My point was to come on and tell you about a couple problems, okay? And El Mariposa posted, okay, what is it? You know what? I don't give two shits about ribeyes, okay? Frankly, if you want to sit here and talk about ribeye during a pandemic, that's your problem. We just don't want to see it shared here either. That's the thing. We have a pandemic. I'm basically, right now, here's what I think, okay? Someone who comes on here and talks about steak, no offense, 2 years ago, it's different because it's 2 years ago. But now, there's a beef shortage. There's a pig shortage. There's all these shortages. And frankly, I'm getting tired of the point that people are posting this crap on my channel. No one gives a shit if you're eating rib steak. Well, no one gives a shit if I'm eating ramen. You see, the point is, no one cares. Now, if Gigi was around, we'd be out there, she doesn't know how to use it anyways, but Chris ain't here. My point is I don't want to see this on my channel. No one cares. That's why a lot of people are basically sitting there, not coming to my channel. A lot of people say to me, some of the comments alone keeps them away. And that's because they're fucking idiots. They say, look, you got someone who's talking about steak is what they said when we're in a pandemic. 10,000 cows die. No one knows why. And then beef prices are through the roof. I mean, literally, my father-in-law is going to be mad at me, but I got to plug the phone in too. But no. I mean, all these people sitting there, and they're not thinking. They're thinking $50 steaks for dinner or $70. You're on deal on steak, really. got a deal at what cost? That's not a deal when you're basically see, here's the problem. If there is a pandemic and you're not prepping carefully and you buy that steak dinner, it might be the last dinner you ever fucking eat. And I'm talking about because next thing you know, everyone's going to be fucking starving and they'll be sitting there wondering where their money went. I mean, literally, I've even decided to cut corners myself on many things. Many things. But then there's people out there that turn around and they are like, oh, that's cool. I've cut corners. I said, store milk, and butter. Don't need eggs. Got too many eggs. Don't eat enough eggs. Food bank keeps giving expired eggs anyway, so I just keep tossing them anyways. They're expired for 2 or 3 weeks. That's how bad the food bank's getting. But people say, oh, well, you know, if you... The thing is no one fucking listens. That's the thing. I've been telling people to prep. That's the thing. But I've also been telling you, look at the overall problems. Before you sit there and wag the finger, everybody's a problem. No, it's both fucking parties are the fucking problem. The intel is coming back that they're trying to prep now so they can fucking overthrow the government later. And I'm talking about the fucking preppers, the freaking people that, you know, and now you got these fucking hootenanny Texas waddies saying, oh, well, we're going to ban homosexuality. It's wrong. Really? You know what? Half the fucking Texicans aren't fucking religious. So if they're not religious, then leave the fucking gays alone and the transgender alone. They're not hurting anyone. But no, you want to fucking dictate policy. It's one reason why my fucking family went down from Oregon. They didn't want the taxes, and everyone out there is gay and lesbian. Oh, well, we gotta move to a state where we can own guns, maybe. Which, gun shortage, we know this. But still, and we need to keep our tax dollars from giving cooters. Well, fine, whatever. No one gives a shit. I don't care. If you want to sit there and ban sex changes, feel free to. If every red state wants to do it, that's fine too. I don't care. You can just fucking pack up, go to a blue state, and be like, oh yeah, I'm planning, I need a coder. Done. I mean, literally, I'm not talking about this. The entire country's divided. Some want sex changes, some want gay marriages, some want this. Everyone wants to fucking go back and forth. Oh, I heard today through a Republican friend of mine, he's a congressman, he says, the rumors are spreading around that they think that the Republicans prepping will make the Democrats an easy target because the Democrats can't own guns in blue states. They're easy fucking target to go in and march in and to take out every fucking Pennywise freeloader. I mean, think about it. Just think about it for a minute. Do you want yourself to be targeted if you're in a blue state? Do you want... I mean, literally, no one knows what the hell's going on in this country. Plain and simple. I mean, think of all the things. These are some theories I've heard from other people. The other is they're planning an attack soon if they don't get what they want. I mean, literally, they're basically... The third thing is they staged the inflation. They staged it so they can blame the Democrats. I'll tell you who the fucking fault is completely in this whole situation. It is both parties, again. Because... who's not working and who is working? That's the fucking problem. I was trying to remember what I was going to do. You see? There we go. Basically, the bottom line is you got to look at the big picture, okay? Whose fault is this, okay? See, I got triggers myself, you know. My triggers is we're in a pandemic, okay? And frankly, I'm tired of fucking people wagging their finger, you know. No one gives a shit right now. What they're basically sitting there is they're wagging the finger blaming Biden. Biden ain't the fucking problem. Problem is the fucking China. China is mostly the problem, but that's because the Republicans and Democrats made a deal to send everything to China. Now China's holding the world hostage and we're fucking basically crippled. Do you think China didn't do this on purpose? No, they did. They know that eventually the United States wouldn't be able to support themselves. Look, they bought 50% of our farms. They can't pass a law saying it goes back to the farmers' hands. Oh, China's like, oh, that's our farm. I mean, literally, the thing is, they're purchasing land. They're dictating policies. They're crippling the United States. They're crippling the world. They're crippling the fucking world. And they're sitting back laughing or someone's sitting there, oh, yeah, think of it. A beautiful woman from Cuba. Beautiful Cuban woman. Okay. Turning around and basically it's like, it doesn't even explain how the U.S. is following on Cuba. You know, the Castro. By the way, Castro likes Partagas and Partagas mostly. That was his Fidel Castro and Raw like Partagas. Apparently, the new guy likes Cohiba Siglo 6s. By the way, I know Cuban cigars pretty well. So, Cuban cigars. The Tercidors rolled on virgin thighs. It's true, too. They're rolled on virgin thighs. The hell emailed me this time? What do we got here? Whatever. So apparently Ghost Street picked up something. Okay, so basically Ghost Street picked up a couple things. All right. Yeah, okay, so that's what it is. My bed, the Tercidor Virgin Thighs. See, I know all about the cigar world. My husband and I were some more cigar smokers, but no, all I'm trying to say, Amazon says. So, my mac and cheese, they're claiming won't be delivered till July something figures. So, currently it says your delivery delay. So, if it does, they're like, we're sorry, there's a delivery delay. Really? You're sorry, there's a fucking delivery delay. I wonder how much this is costing currently. I'm gonna look. Man, I wonder how much this is going for currently. I'm checking on the orders that I have because that will help me make the decision. So apparently my other delivery is the current, okay, here we go. So currently, let's see, this is this will be delivered by Friday. It's not bad. Friday delivery, you can trust that. This is delivered June 20th, Thursday. Not bad, not bad. This is delivered on June 23rd again. Oh, they dropped the price again. It actually went, whoa, it's way down now. That's great. This went up another $1. This is good for June. That's nice to know. This is June 23rd, but they actually raised that by $3, so I don't buy a case of it for that price. And this is current delivery is currently at July 30th. See? So apparently the stuff I'm buying is they're trying to scrounge around. So that tells you right there what you need to know. Be very, very careful. And then what if I want to replace these? I'm just curious. Have you noticed that the Pepsi and Coke minis, the mini Cokes and the mini Mountain Dews currently are the minis are the only thing you can get a hold of. Apparently, everything else on the food bank stratum is the food banks the food card stratum is empty. People say, "Oh well, the thing is, have you noticed that the minis are the only thing online you can get a hold of? The large cans they never take. It's like they're freaking scalping the large cans. That's why I always get a mini can. Last night I had like one can left, so I drank it. Sat around, watched a movie, and then went to sleep. But I did a lot of research too last night, as usual, when my battery charges. So Anyways, I'm getting tired. Let's see. My inbox needs to be emptied again. Point fact, I'm getting tired of you know, some of this crap is just garbage. I mean, literally, my updates alone is like, dude, I don't care. There. There. Okay, so I'm just. Oh, yeah, today's that one day, right? Earn points with a daily chance to win begins June 20th. All right, let's see what. I don't want to watch and learn. You gotta be fucking serious, you son of a bitch. So apparently, the son of a bitch basically, has locked me out of my account because I haven't been there for years. Fucking son of a bitch. So someone hacked my account. You gotta be fucking kidding me. You know what? I could just throw this in the trash because I ain't gonna bother with them anymore. I hate when this fucking people does this to me. Yep. There you go. I gotta check on a few things anyways. Cross check some stuff. No, it wasn't hacked. It was a cigarette company. Sometimes they give you freebies. No, I don't like talking about food. Not when it comes to a pandemic. If you keep asking me, I might just give you the boot too. We don't need people like you sitting here tagging and antagonizing me over fucking steak. What do you think, Zoe? What should I do? Do you want the honor, or should I have the? Should I do it? Because frankly, I'm getting tired of the people freaking antagonizing today. I mean, literally, I got things to do eventually, but I don't want to be antagonized. I don't give two shits. I have a good steak recipe, but you ain't getting it because it's my husband's recipe. It's top secret. It's classified. Problem is I'm asking Zoe, what do you think? Let it go for now. So basically, you think just leaving him be. I think kicking him out would be interesting. Just give him the old boot. I mean, literally. I'm about to kick them out myself. I'm the administrator. I can kick people out. Sounds good to me. We don't need them in here. Reminds me of everyone talking about Joe. Reminds me of Joe Gill. Hell, I can call Chloe in to do it. Thing is, all you got to do is look at Chloe for 1 second and say, Chloe, you know, oh, it's an antagonization right now. I mean, literally, how would you feel if you're in a pandemic, right? In a pandemic, Zoe, trying to talk about the future of this country and where it's headed. And someone wants to talk about steaks. They don't care. They're a fucking Trumper. They're a Republican. That's what it is. They're Republicans sitting here. Meanwhile, they're basically pushing the steak method, not caring about anything that someone has to say. I mean, think of it. Now, that's why I said what I said. Excuse me for 1 minute. There. See? I come back, no comments. Anyways, you guys already know how I feel. I mean, literally. Tell you what I really feel. You want to know? Let me tell you a story. Personal story, and then we go back to what I'm talking about. So basically, what I'm asking you all to do first is simple. Is think about both parties. Who's at fault? That's the first key. If you really want to see common sense, look at it from that perspective. Then make the decision. Make the decision. You want to blame Biden, then you're already made the decision. You're basically going to be passing judgment when the judgment should be passed on the entire party. 2, you sit there and you say, oh, well, we got to pass judgment on this person. Really? You know what? Why do you think I don't deal with politics? Because the truth hurts. Someone always gets burned when you're arguing about politics. 2, sit down. Sit down. Have a conversation with your family. Don't just sit there and be like, oh, yeah, you know. Me and my husband used to talk about everything. We'd sit there and we would sit there. We would stand around. We would look at each other. And finally, we would say, you know, husband, this doesn't make sense. And he always... And so you got to ask yourself, these preppers, what are they doing? They're making money. They're making money off of people. Look, I told this to Pee Wee a long time ago. Okay, I'm not going to pick on Pee Wee. She's awesome. She's a great sister. But think of what I told Pee Wee 2 years ago. You got all these jackasses that she believes in being like, oh, ask Kevin and ask this douchebag and this fuckhead and this shitwad. And I said, if you keep following down that path, you're going to be led astray. Is what I told her. And she's like, what do you mean? They're all trying to milk the cash cow in the stimulus wagon. Stimulus check comes in. Oh, today we're going to be getting a 4th stimulus check, and everyone being, they milked it till it basically came true that there was no more stimulus checks. Then they just swept it under the rug. It's one thing Pee Wee understood. I told Pee Wee this a long time ago. These people now, they have nothing better to do but make a living off of you. I don't collect any monetization. Pee Wee was here yesterday, but you got to remember, Pee Wee also said she's blaming Biden. To me, I'm going to let Pee Wee blame who she wants. She's an American. But me, I'm not blaming any party. I'm blaming both parties. That's the thing. One party doesn't get the blame. My mom always taught me, blame both parties. They're useless. No, Higgins actually posted something today. I want to share with you all. I want you guys to pay attention. Higgins was very thoughtful. Pay attention. You know what? Maybe you can understand this better than my intelligence. I'm born mildly retarded, so I have an LD, a learning disability, Zoe. But maybe you can explain what Higgins was saying this. He says, thoughts I ponder. This is the email he sent, Could, okay, I'm reading this now. Please analyze this, Zoe, and maybe tell me what it means. Because Higgins, it was kind of confusing. But I think it's a good message. Could perspective, all in black, of what is occurring in the world be affected by the haves, in black, versus the have-nots? They're all in parentheses and in black, by the way. The have-nots. Kind of be like in people in Washington are out of touch with the common person. They are the haves, in black. Person with a job is like a public official, sheriff, in parentheses, is in the group of people called the haves, the working class, until suddenly they find themselves unemployed and spontaneously land in the group, in black again, in parentheses, the have-nots. Everything feels like it's great for the haves until they find themselves part of the have-nots, in parentheses in black. Person in the group called the haves are blinded by what is happening until the rug is pulled out from underneath them. So until the rug is pulled out, what is happening is invisible to the haves because of sense of stability. Person in the have-nots group sense things more quickly because their finger is on the pulse. Just a strange thought I was thinking about. Higgins. So Higgins was talking about yesterday when I was talking about the sheriff. Remember, the sheriff says I shouldn't be doing these videos because it's not, so think of it that way. What I think he's saying is the working class, the ones that have the jobs, own the businesses, and is trying to make ends meet, they don't want to lose anything, so they're basically wanting to blame the Democrats. But I blame both parties because the Democrats could have kept us out of the fuel shortage. Our fuel shortage would have been cheaper. Think of it this way. If they didn't sell our reserve oil and sell our oil to the highest bidder, and we were buying Russian oil, we wouldn't be in this position. We'd have trucks being moved. But because truckers are on vacation, because A, there's not enough repair parts, supposedly. B, there's not enough truck chassis. And C is there's not enough loads. And then these people complain that store shelves are emptying. Well, they got off their ass. Oh, well, we can't work because we're on food stamps because the gas price is too high. You know what the problem is? Here's the big problem in this whole fucking problem here. You want to blame people, blame the Republicans and Democrats for sending all the jobs overseas because they're the ones making the products. Train parts, Chinese made. Yeah, so if a train breaks down, the freight breaks down. Computer chip shortages for cars. Detroit had to lay off. Did you know that? Detroit had to lay off its biggest things. Housing bubble's going to pop. By the way, has anyone checked the stock market today? I haven't seen the Dow Jones today yet either. Usually I follow up on that for you guys too to see how it played. The Dow Jones dropped 38 points today. So it dropped its biggest drop today around 29. So it gained another 100 points. So yeah, so it dropped. So it's dropping gradually. So it's under 29,000 because of the comment of inflation and the comment of housing bubble. So if you look at it from that point of view, what's that tell you? Well, right there, you need to think. Before we get into arguments, you got to think. The problem is we're falling, yes. But we're falling because of the greedy son of a bitches don't want to pay decent wages. Every other country I visited, they pay decent wages, $15 to $30 an hour. Now, people don't even want to work at McDonald's for $15 an hour because they think that's not a decent wage. They think, they can jack up the price. The state of Washington keeps raising the rates every damn year. And because of it, you got to blame China for it. Well, yeah, exactly. Poverty is. I would love to run for Congress and the Senate, but you think I got $3 to $11 million to run? No, I don't. No one's going to vote for me because I'm weird. But at the same time, they need to realize, and the reality is, I know what the hell is going on in this world. Violence, yeah, in the major cities. Out here, there is none, There's very little violence out here. Last time I checked the police blog, it's usually welfare checks and the occasional unnatural death, or natural death, I should say, over everything else, But still, I agree with you, but I've been not most of my life. You want someone to represent you who's seen both sides. Yeah, I see both sides of the fence, and I blame everyone. The thing is, the country is divided. Country's divided between two parties. They want to blame one and not blame the other. The thing is, they need to fucking wake up small with the shoveling because each party is a fucking bunch of dipshits and apes running things. The definition of a Congress is a bunch of gorillas, by the way. Look up the word Congress and you'll find it's a body of gorillas in country. Problem is, I'm too weird for many people. Because frankly, I'll tell you, my opinion is mine only, and there's a lot of opinions out there. And my opinion is, I don't want to turn on the news for example, Zoe, and see some fucking idiot crying to the fucking media that they can't fucking swim because they're a transgendered man. And then they change the rules that anyone who's transitioned by 12. Now they're trying to push for 12-year-olds to have sex changes, 11-year-olds to have sex changes. I'm sorry, but that is just downright wrong in my entire bones. Yet, we're supposed to keep doing this. This is why it's part of the communist agenda. They don't care about the masses. Look at Pelosi. Pelosi eats $20 pints of ice cream. You know, I mean, people that sit there and claim they're stocked up, for example, they're not, because they don't have the expiration dates. The thing is, you don't check your expiration dates, your food will go bad. And that's one of the themes for today is check your expiration dates. They're shipping stuff from that. Mail order is going to fail. That's another thing I want to talk about. Mail order is basically, mail order is, I heard Pelosi's a boozer. Yeah, I heard she's an alcoholic, but But anyways, my point is check expiration dates. The other thing is eventually mail order is going to be gone. Online ordering is going to be gone. Why? Because people in the country is not going to be able to afford anything. You see, the stores are running out of stuff, right? People are stockpiling everything they can at stores. But at the same time, people are also listening to these fucking preppers who are saying, oh, look at me. I told you to prep just in case. I didn't say, I mean, what I'm trying to say is don't play the blame game. We could be basically buying into prepping just so the preppers can turn around and overthrow the government for all we know. I mean, we don't know what the hell's happening. They want to sit there and blame game. So we might be right. The Republicans might not even vote anymore. I mean, literally, they might not even vote. But then again, who knows? They're all talking. No one knows. Roe versus Wade hasn't been overturned yet either, To me, I'm getting to the point where I'm getting sick and tired of both sides playing each other. Thing is, can't we just come to the middle and say, look, we both know that you're blaming the Democrats. We both know you're blaming the Republicans. I mean, look, you want to see a war, okay? Well, let's just take it to this way. There's people out there, my own family, that want to fucking blame Biden for everything. They don't want to blame the Democrats, or they blame Biden and the Democrats. But there's other people that fucking turn around in my family. They blame the fucking Republicans. So it's basically like both sides. Excuse me for a minute. I got to use the toilet for a minute. People don't want to use common sense. They want to use the blame game for everything. That's the problem in this country. You see, the problem I have is, yeah, exactly. And that's what's happening here. The country is being divided. And because of it, it's going to be easy pickings for us. Country used to be divided, but no, they had to divide it politics by politics. Blame this guy for this guy for this guy to this guy. I mean, look, I see visions. I know what's happening to this country, but also I know people need to listen to, and when they don't listen, that's where we get problems. People sit there and say, "Oh well, we don't need to listen because, we know better than you." We're gonna blame the Republicans, or we're gonna blame the Democrats. Look, I'm not trying to play the blame game here, but I'm saying every party, everyone who isn't a party official, they're the ones that are making themselves look bad. That's the truth. The truth is in the pudding. They want to play the blame game, but they won't pony up. How can you identify a problem neither party thinks they have? Simple. You look at what the party's platform stands for. If each party basically doesn't stand for something that you don't like, then they're basically... Republicans believe that they're the party of God. I had a guy once at a funeral say that if God was real, he'd be a Republican. Bullshit. Jesus came down. He died for our sins. Jesus turned to Peter and said, "Give unto Caesar what's Caesar's, and give unto God what is God." So now go down to the catch a fish, and the first fish you catch, there'll be a coin in its mouth. Go pay the temple tax, because people said he was paying the temple tax, so he went and paid the temple tax after he caught a fish. Give unto Caesar what is Caesar. Give unto God what is God. God's sitting there saying, "Come to me, little children." Instead, everyone is turning around and being basically racist. The blacks aren't human. The Hispanics or the Latino descent aren't human in the eyes of the whites, for example. They only think about themselves. They're prepping like crazy. They're causing the problem from within. The second reason I forgot to say in this theme is this. What is the other problem? The worker shortages. People are sitting at home. The Republicans that know that this country is falling has decided to stay home and hope like hell the government bails them out somehow while they stockpile everything on food stamps. Some of them have 4 or 5 family members, so they're basically getting more food stamps and they're making the food last longer. Meanwhile, the rest of the poor, they don't think so. They think grandma and grandpa should die because these Republicans on food stamps think grandma and grandpa should die because Social Security was the biggest hoax during FDR. Think about it. Think about it. Everything happens for a fucking reason. Everyone's playing the blame game. Now, honestly, I will tell you this for a fact. Till God gives me the full story, I can only assume from my own higher epsilon friends that I know who's in office that it could be an overthrow of the government, supposedly. But that's just a theory, so I can't just sit here and say it's real. Secondly, to have them say that the preppers are the ones that's causing the food shortages, just a theory. Again, I can tell you for a fact that China makes most of the parts, and without the parts, we can't survive. China makes air conditioners. China makes everything. There's an air conditioner shortage. But then again, no one thinks about China. They say, oh, well, we got this high gas prices and no one's delivering. No one thinks that China's holding the world hostage. What they're thinking about is, oh, it's the Democrats' fault. Really? Both Republicans and Democrats signed on to basically send everything to China. So whose fault is that? Your fault? My fault? Their fault. Well, I'm God's prophet. So basically, God's telling me to speak the truth. And the truth is hurting people. That's the thing. You know why, Zoe, people hate me? Tell you why. Because I speak the truth. They can't handle the fucking truth. A few good men. I want the truth. You can't handle the truth. The ship's sinking, and a lot of them and both parties are basically the ship of fools. Chain, 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 chain of fools. But no, honestly, the ship's sinking because the country's divided. Country's divided. And then, here's the other kicker. They sit there and they say, oh, we got to blame the Democrats. Really? Both Republicans and Democrats were on board giving $150 billion, 1/9 $1 trillion to Ukraine for a losing war. You do the math. You do the math. We spent not 1/9 $1 trillion to Ukraine for what? For a war that they can't win? Look. If Vlad wants Ukraine, let Vlad have Ukraine. I don't give a shit. But to sit there and tell us that it's Biden's fault that he put sanctions on Russia because of it. And by the way, did you know we have we're sitting on $15 billion of yachts right now, about 15 billion confiscated by the U.S. government from Russian oligarchs. And guess who's got to pay the maintenance costs for them? It's either they get them sold, or they basically strip them because there's for materials because we're going to be putting them in dry dock and they cost money to maintain them, even in mothballed. I mean, think about it. And why is our food prices going up on pastas and rice and macaroni and stuff? It's because we use the grain. Our country doesn't produce the grain anymore. We used to be a wheat producing country. Think of it. Well, who's at fault? Democrats and Republicans gave the idea that giving 50% of our farmlands to China or there's about. Think about it. Country is failing. And it's failing because of politics in office. It ain't failing because of frickin', and it's failing too because these fucking people vote him in. Look at the big picture here, okay? People say, oh, Donald Trump made his promises. He kept it. Good for you. But has any fucking politician made promises they kept? In the last 40 years, I can't name one single person except Donald Trump. But everyone else, Ding, ding, honk, honk, hello, hello, Higgins. So basically, the point is, you're right. We're throwing 1/9 $1 trillion to Ukraine, throwing them a bone, throwing them our weapons. Our ammo supply is short because we're sending all our ammo to Ukraine. Why? Because we don't want the Americans to have it. Think about it. Well, we'll just ship off everything, Remington and other companies, Hornady and etc. We'll send all our ammo to them. Let Russia use it. Meanwhile, the U.S. divides up the ammo they need, the 9mm and the 45s and the 7.62s and the 5.56 and the 223s and everything else sold out, can't get. And then the Republicans blame, oh, well, there's an ammo shortage. Yeah, well, that's because we're sending it to Ukraine. And Ukraine ain't doing a damn thing. Yeah, well, we're currently at 60 degrees for 6 o'clock. So we gained a 1 temperature degree. Cloudy day. I was going to smoke a pipe, actually, but, you know. Wow. How about rotating coffee out, switching over to Italian roast for a bit? I wonder if there's any other Starbucks blends I can buy in the big bag. That'd be something to be curious about. Oh, you know what? I forgot to do this morning. Better take care of that, shouldn't we, people? You guys are sitting there watching me and you don't understand what I'm talking about. You're like, oh, what's she talking about? Food. Sometimes you gotta feed someone. Hey, Boon Boon. Hungry? Are you a hungry little hippopotamus, huh? Foodsy? There he is. You can barely see him in the corner. He's hungry, see? There he goes. He's eating. Yeah, Hopper is saying he's eating. Hello, how are you? Hi. Come here. What, you don't want to eat? You want me instead? You want attention? I saw you this morning wanting attention. I kicked Black Jesus out. He was insulting me one night when I was doing the Rain Man impersonation for you. So I kicked him out. He hasn't back since. And said, we got a Black Ebony instead, see? My name's Ebony Bunny. Hi, my name's Ebony Bunny. Yeah, but the difference between you, Zoe, and Higgins is I can call Higgins anytime on the phone. I have his phone number. Hi. Tickle toes. Tickle toes. Tickle toes. Tickle toes. Tickle belly. Tickle belly. Look at this. He's shedding. Yeah, you're a shedder, aren't you? There we go. You want in to eat, huh? Your belly rebelling, huh? You're sitting there going, oh, yeah, there's one more carrot, I think, in there, too. I don't know if it's good anymore. I'll go check for you. Carrot me. Carrot me. Yes, a carrot you. Give me a second. I think I left one carrot. Oh, I'm sorry. Guess the carrot was eaten. Thought we had a carrot for you, Ubo. Oh, no. Carrot's wrong. Bad carrot. Sorry, Evo. There is none. Maybe Wednesday we'll get some more. That carrot went bad. Sorry to say, son. I don't know what Higgins' project is. I know Chloe's got to go to the store soon and then do dishes. I got a project to do in my game. And then when my tablet's done charging, I gotta, plug the phone in, this phone, and then later tonight call Dad. Hopefully he answers. Apparently tomorrow he's going to dinner. He's always buying SSDs, you know. That's the thing about Higgins. He's always buying SSDs. Oh, what's wrong? Huh? You want to kiss these again? He wants kissies. Yeah, he's looking at me going, kiss me once and kiss me twice. My project is Stardew Valley today. You know, this is what keeps me calm. And, you know, the problem is, you know, when people start talking about food and, you know, during a pandemic, there's a problem, you know. I mean, you could be stocked up as well as he is, but the long-term effect is you have 6 months of food. If you do, start doing 12 months of food. If you don't have 12 months of food, the last food can you eat is when you go hungry. Problem is, you got to think. You know, the problem I don't like about YouTube is these videos take too long because, you know, we got people that come in, you know, and they want to hear the message about the economy and prepping. And then you got other people, and then you got other people. And then in the end, and then you got other people. And next thing you know, you're sitting around wondering what the hell's going on. You know. So, you know, the thing is I'm getting to the point where that there's too many people out there in the world that's sad, you know. Anyways, feels like the message was lost, you know, because like I said, there's things and then there's things. And then there's things. And to me, how much more are you going to deal with, right? I mean, think of it this way. There's things and there's things, right? Problem is the American people are always going to be divided. No one's going to listen. Preppers think they're right. I've seen things that you wouldn't even think about. During the Obama term, they all prepped, stockpiled secretly. Saying the end was near. When Trump got in, they say, oh, everything was great. They stopped prepping. Now that Biden's in, they're prepping again. You see? God wants you to look at the numbers. God doesn't want you to stand around and be like, ooh, you know. I'm out of sausages, so I got buffalo wings, shrimp, ribs, corn dogs. I'm not having it corn dogs last night, which wasn't really a good Father's Day meal, you know. Should have did something more, but I have to defrost. Tomorrow morning, I'm going to bed really late due to the fact I got a doctor's appointment at 7:45. Last time I checked, but you know, no one cares about my appointments, you know. So I like the computer how it works, you know. See, tomorrow morning at 7:45. Without my glasses, I can't see at all. But then again, my family thinks, someone like me, I'm just a stupid, dumb shit that I should have myself taken out back of the barn and shot because the taxpayers are paying for me. Nope, not going to happen. My advocates have not been able to get a hold of the guy for the Lions Club. That's the truth. They can't even get it for Chloe. It'll be about $600 out of pocket. And right now, there is no money. That's the thing. No one's donating. Everyone's prepping for the freaking apocalypse, so they're not helping the Lions Club. So elderly can't get their hearing aids and glasses, and I'm standing around doing what I can, how I can, when I can, and that's the truth. My thing is I don't even know how I keep doing these long videos. I mean, literally, Chloe always likes me playing my game, but the thing is you got to check your expiration dates. You got to check. Um, no, that's fine. You leave in 5, I'll leave in 5. Sorry, Higgins, but I have to go bye eventually too. I mean, literally, I got things to do that does not include spending my day on YouTube all day. I got things to do. My game's calling me. I got to play my game, and then in the evening take a break for dinner and then have a pipe. I will when it gets cooler tonight. I will. I got my coat here, so I'll put it on tonight when it gets cooler. It might be like 5. It might be like 51 to 52 tonight, so it'll be nice and cool enough for me to have my pipe. I'll pack it in here and then smoke it out there, and then when I'm done, I'll come back in and I don't get my sunshine or my vitamin D. I don't know. Borkham Rift and Captain Black is all they had at this specialty shop store. Chloe keeps talking about going to town to Seattle directly to go to the pipe shops because this stuff's just too damn expensive. I have my own brands I used to smoke, but those formulas were bought by Peterson now. So I got Captain Black and Borkham Rift. This is a bourbon whiskey flavor, and this is a black Cavendish gold flavor. But these things are so damn expensive. If you remember correctly, it's expensive. Yeah, well, Higgins, it is what it is. So, but yeah, I'm going to basically relax the night away with my game and go from there. Because I do not want to be here anymore. Because the point is I'm getting burned out with people fighting and infighting on my channel over who's at blame. Yeah, well, it's just something that Chloe picked up for me. She wanted me to get outside more so that, she wanted me to walk the dog, I mean, she's got this idea to get me a new smoking pipe for my birthday, which is a nice idea, but who knows what's going to happen, My thing is I'm more concerned about, what happens between now and my birthday, My birthday is August, you know. My thing is I'm getting tired of, oh wow, this guy did another video? Figures. See, this guy is making a video to make a living. That's all he's doing. Good night, Gigi. Zoe. Higgins, I'm sorry to say this, but you came in too late. So, technically I'm going to be leaving you too. But just remember, Today's theme is the blame game. Both parties are blame. Whoever's in office doesn't mean shit. 2 is anyone who basically is turning around and saying we need the Republicans, and they ain't going to do shit either. You think the Republicans, they only want power. That's all they give a shit about. They want power. And if you need to know, that's one thing I know from God himself. They want power. They want to cripple this country, and they are doing what they're doing. And even if you give them the seat of power, excuse me for a minute, I got to use the bathroom. If you give them the seat of power, they're still not going to bring back jobs. They keep promising to bring it back, but they never do. Because the corporations want people. Corporations want to control everything coming into China because it's cheaper labor, as you see. You see, if the country was going to turn around and basically support what was it said? Delivery estimate is tomorrow? Oh, no, it's Tuesday. Okay. So basically, they want power. So if you think that giving your vote to these idiotic killjacks are going to make you feel better, go for it. But the truth is, they want power, and they also want, quote unquote, to keep the business in China. So even if they get in and they use the recession's still going to be here. It doesn't matter who's in office. They're not going to get anything done, and you're still going to be in the fucking same boat after Christmas. Yeah, well, I would do a movie tonight, Higgs. Rocky's got plenty of movies. Hey, Moppo. Hey. So basically, what I'm trying to say is everyone wants fucking power, but are they going to do anything? No. So before you sit there and post comments, I want you to think clearly. Okay, that's the thing. Who's at fault? Both parties. The guy who's in the White House doesn't do shit anyways, and the previous guy in the White House, in my opinion, didn't do shit, and the previous guy before that didn't do shit. So if you look at all the fucking people in the White House, they're trying to do things they can't do. Secondly, as long as China is making deals and controlling things, we're not going to see any wages here. Our country's going to a third world country due to the fact that we don't have enough workers. Why? Because the worker shortage. The worker shortage is pretty damn bad. So, and because of it, no one wants to work. That's all I can say. No one wants to work. And because of it, a lot of them are sitting on their ass on food stamps. And then you got people like me trying to tell you like it is. Telling you be careful. Do what you need to. But at the same time, just think about what I said. Could you want to blame politics and say, oh, well, it's Biden's fault? So what if it's Biden's fault? No one cares. And like I said, check expiration dates when you buy food online. The warehouses are shipping almost nearly expired food. So you need to check on that yourself. Second thing you need to check on is, and think about highly, is who's at blame. Who's literally at blame? Are you at blame? Maybe, because you voted the idiots. Have they helped you out? Maybe not. Has any of them helped you out? Oh, job creation's great. Think of it. Why are you Republican? Why are you Democrat? Think about that. Before you sit there and lambaste me, and if you do get 2 hours into the full video today, think about it. This is something that you need to talk about to yourself. Who's at to blame? Literally, who's to blame? Who's at fault? Literally, who's at fault? You can sit there and say, oh, well, Rita, you're at fault. Really, I'm at fault? That's great, I'm at fault. Am I truly at fault? Maybe, but think of it. What if the preppers are really prepping to overthrow the government? Have you thought of that? Have you thought maybe that both parties are fucking to blame? Oh, no, you want to basically be Democrat or Republican. Me, I'm neither, because both parties don't do shit. They sit there and they control the House, and they're trying to pass something. Can't get done. Republicans say, oh, no, not on my watch. Then the Republicans turn around and say, look at all the illegals that are moving in. And soon the Democrats are going to have both House and Senate forever because we're allowing illegals in here. We're bringing in people illegally from Cuba and South America, North America, and Asia, and all this crap. And yet they want to blame it on themselves. And yet the Republicans at one time passed these bills to let them in due to the fact that no one wanted to be farm workers. I know a lot of Hispanics will work seasonal work and they go home to Mexico and then they come back on a new visa. But there's other people that, it's their laws. Republicans passed it because the Republicans are the farmers. They're the ones that own the farmers. Most Republicans are farmers. They work their butt off. But now you see all these people talking about, well, we can't do this to the farmers because, the price of materials are going up on fertilizer. So some of our fields aren't being produced. Well, maybe if we weren't basically buying fertilizer from China, we wouldn't be in this damn position. Has anyone ever thought of that? Huh? See, this is the problem with long hair at times. Trying to brush it, sometimes it gets stuck, You want to sit there and say voters fraud, but look at what's going on in the country. What's more important? The everyday issues? Or something else? The everyday issues or something else? Think about it. Because I can go on and on and on, but I want you to think. The truth is in the pudding. You guys stand around every day and you say, oh, well, we're going to blame the Republicans or we blame the Democrats. I blame them both because they don't do anything anymore. They pass the bills and then you basically, people like us, bitch about them. Simple. They pass the bills. And by the way, here's another thing to think about. Every person in Congress that gets 3 terms in Congress, that's 2-year terms, gets the full pension of $274,000 a year. Everyone in Senate after 6 years or 2 terms gets the full, or after 1 term gets the full $274,000. That's all they do. They want security. So a poor person can go in the Senate next thing you know, or the Congress, and they work into the Senate, and then their pension's bigger than you ever think about the rest of your life because they have the people's money to back them. And then they say they're for the people, but what are they truly for? Themselves. So everyone is out for themselves. Think about it. Think of it that way. The factories are out for themselves. They don't want to pay $15 to $20 an hour, so what are they doing? They're sending it off to China. I mean, look, no offense to Mariposa, but we're going down the same rabbit hole as Cuba. I mean, look at it. Cuba had 1950 Chevys that they still got to keep and maintain because the rumor has it they don't have new cars, so they're maintaining older stuff. Now we're in the same damn predicament and boat. Yeah, well, and AOC is now a lying son of a bitch, too, see? But anyways, good evening, Mariposa. So there you have it, everyone. I'm done. Pretty much Higgins wants movie and I want to freaking done. But think about it. Who's at true fault here? Higgins is right. He said it best himself. Rinse and repeat. They don't carry the promises. So if you want to sit there and say, oh, you're on the Republicans, they only want the power. They don't care. Think about it. Think of this as the final thought of the day. Final thought of the day for me. It goes like this. You're going to love the final thought of the day, Higgins. And for you, the viewers. See, the final thought of the day is this. Whoever's in office ain't going to do shit anyway. So whether you're a fucking hypocrite Republican that wants to basically protect the country and keep Biden out because you're angry that Biden won against Trump, so be it. Think of it this way. Republicans ain't going to do shit just like the Democrats didn't. And if the House is basically Democratic still, and the Senate, due to the fact that Roe versus Wade is overturned, you're going to see some serious shit happen. I'm just waiting to see how it plays out. They haven't said anything about Roe versus Wade yet. 2, the final thought of the day is this. They're there for power. They don't give a shit. Look at what Higgins just said. They're getting a pension after 3 terms in the Congress. They get $274. I think if they get 1 term in the Senate, they get another $274. So all that money stacked up that they get to live comfortably the rest of their fucking life. And you're the healthcare, the best healthcare on the market. You get shit on. Think about it. So they get the healthcare. They get to have best meals. They get to have everything. And then they sit there and they lie to their constituents, basically, and they don't do shit. So it doesn't matter who's in the White House because nothing gets done. Think about it. We're in a pandemic, right? Let's think of this as the final thought of the day. Republicans get House and Senate. I can't tell you which way it's going to go. I know already, but I'm at sealed to liberty. God's orders. But it goes like this. As the big man upstairs explained to me, both parties don't do shit. 2, they don't care. They're in it for power. 3, think of the Reagan economics in the midterms. Think of the 2008 midterms. To get out of the recession, did they do anything? Not much. Meanwhile, they still had high gas prices, housing bubble popped, and everything else. Think about it. So you think if the Republicans get in, gas prices are going to go? No, they sold all our gas overseas or oil overseas. Yeah. And guess who's got to pay for it? They're just basically promising lies on the back of the American people to get voted in or reelected. Can't trust the bastards. Can't trust any of them. They're all fucking hypocrites. Every one of them. And yet, your gas price is going to stay the same. It's not going to go up. It's not going to go down. Meanwhile, do you think the Republicans will come out with a plan to truly save America? Let's see, our shipping problem. You think they're going to just sit there and say, we're going to give $2 trillion to the infrastructure for new power plants and replacing the old power plants, replacing the roads. Oh, not to mention, maybe it's $3 trillion or $4 trillion or $5 trillion to pass it so people can basically, so companies are, or whatever they can do, maybe they're subsidized, where the trucking industry basically gets subsidized truck chassis, hypothetically. Then they could drive and pick up the loads, and then the stores won't be running out of product. Right now, the rumor has it as both Republicans and Democrats, I know, both higher echelons in the House and the Senate, have said, quote unquote, most blue states are well stocked. Red states, they're going down. The red states, the preppers, they're fucking sucking up everything. And if you're not prepping, well, you're a moron. If you are prepping, you're a moron. So anyway, look at it. The preppers are the ones causing this. Think of it that way for the final thought of the day. The preppers are prepping, causing the inflation to go up because they're buying everything. Yet, most of the stuff in the stores that you can buy currently are TVs, video game systems, when you can get them, scalpers are getting those, laptops, desktops, clothing, and etc. Those things aren't being freaking sucked up. Toothpaste ain't going up. How many people are buying toothpaste? How many people are buying luxury items like the smoking pipe or TVs and some? Not many. They're all buying food. And the elderly, they have to plan their foods out carefully. But the elderly can't fucking stack up a month's supply of food unless they use common sense. Unless the elderly are willing to eat ramen upon ramen upon ramen upon ramen, there's nothing that can be done. Your ramen supply is now going up in price. Think of it. A $6 case of ramen is now taking 3 months to deliver by Amazon's own standards, if it is a $6 ramen. People are basically, um, 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 scalping. Look at the canned meats. Everyone's so worried about their fucking protein. They're taking everything and everything. Sardines, kippered snacks. Um, look right here, $6.05 for a case of ramen sold out. $7.89 sold out. $6.05 sold out. $6 sold out. $6.05 sold out. $7.29 sold out. These are cases of 24. This one here is 36 sold out for $7.49. Think of it. People are good. People are stockpiling. They're even taking away the ramen. Think of it that way. Think before you sit there and say, "Oh yeah, it's the Democrats' fault. It's Biden's fault." Really, Biden didn't cause this problem. You know what the problem was? Both parties agreeing to stimulus checks, and then look what happened. The stimulus checks turned around, and I said this 2 years ago. You're gonna have inflation. They're gonna have to pay it back somehow. So higher inflation. Now we're paying for it. And then you turn around and you hear people complain about um, gas prices. Oh my God, you know what? Gas prices are high because we put sanctions on Russia. If we left the fucking sanctions alone, we wouldn't have our gas pricing. We'd still be paying $2 and some cents a gallon. But nope, they had the sanctions. Now we don't have any place to get our oil. So whose fault is that? Both parties agreed to it. Both parties agreed to send money to Ukraine. Both parties agreed to send money to other people. So technically, look what's happening to the world. Plain and simply. See, problem is you got all these people fighting tooth and nail. Excuse me for a second. And because of it, you can't blame anyone but both parties. Okay. Hey, mama. Anyways, that is the bottom line. I'm getting ready to ship out. So, I just wanted to say we had a negative person, so that message was deleted. If they post again, I will basically be blocking them again. Okay, they keep making the same comments, and I don't know why the son of a bitch is using a character's name from the Louis L'Amour book, Crossfire Trail slash uh, movie. Think of it that way. Now, if you excuse me, I want to finish this up. So the person whose account was thingy, if you ever talk sexually explicit again on my channel, I will personally be banning you. You have been reported to YouTube for violations of talking about things that aren't good, including my female organs. Plain and simple. So there you have it. Now, if you do post a comment again, I will personally be blocking you because you're not welcome here. Higgins, if you're still here, if you see Joe Gill posting again on a new Joe Gill account, please remove the son of a bitch, or I will gladly do it myself. Because you know as well as I do, we don't need Joe Gill running around posting crap on my channel. So, first of all, blame both parties. Secondly, even if Republicans get control of everything, they're not going to fix inflation. They're not. They already said inflation might be fixed by the time the next president is in, whoever is Republican or Democratic president. This is coming from a Republican chairman of the Federal Reserve. What's his name? Jerome Powell. So he said that it might be years to get inflation down. Years. You see, he said that might be years. But in the meantime, we're going into a recession. So your best final thought of the day and tip of the final thoughts and tip of the day is this. Cut corners if you have to. Hey, Chloe, you going to go out?
I went out.
No, I'm talking about the store. You kept talking about it. We might need another loaf of bread.
All right, I'll go get it now.
Anyways, I'm logging off, everyone. You guys enjoy yourself. Yeah, well, Joe Gill has been reported, and if you post again, Joe, I will personally ban you, or Higgins can. One of us will get to it. We'll block you. You won't be posting ever again. So we don't need your stupid questions. This is a channel about talking about things that mean well in the world, not about transgendered or hermaphroditic vaginas or cooters, as you would say. I mean, literally, you're being rude. It's none of your damn business about my cooter. My cooter is my business, not yours. So, think of it this way. Powell turned around and said, we need, quote unquote, to, quote unquote, prepare, quote unquote, prepare for long recession and inflation of 2+ years. Bloomberg, Financial Times, Wall Street Journal saying it could be 30 to 40 years in inflation because we can't pay our debts. So the country's slowly slipping into a stock market crash. Right now, it is June. Stock market went down 30-some points today.
What, you want me to check on gas prices?
You can, but you could. Hold on a sec. Give me a second, people, before I log off. I got something to do. Later tonight, maybe when it's dark, you and I can go outside. I'll have a pipe.
All right, I'll take a shower for that.
Oh. Take your backpack and let's go to tomorrow. Then go out tomorrow. All right, so basically, before I go, like I said, both parties are to blame.
Hey, I'll take a shower when I get back. Okay?
Fine. You didn't clean my ramen bowl. I haven't had lunch yet.
I'll clean that first and shower, okay?
Yeah, well, dishwashing needs to be done. So anyways, I'm going to blow out those candles. I think the smell's gone. I hope. You still have the pot on the stove, so it's got rotted tuna. I'm not going to call the police on the guy. Pretty much what I'm going to do is I'm warning him already that he's not going to basically be talking sick. So basically, don't blame the parties unless you truly want to, then it's your opinion. But I say both parties are at fault. Doesn't matter who's in power, whether Republican or Democrat, they're not going to do shit. 3 is they want to say, oh, Republicans will give job creation. No, they won't. They shipped everything overseas. Now you're having a parts problem. So even if they get inflation under control, this is the final thought of the day, and they get gas prices under control, it ain't going to bring back the parts problem because China's in lockdown. So China's the one that's blaming having the problem. So what do? Nothing. Nothing. So there you have it. Think of it that way. Think of it. Who's at fault? Are opposed at fault? No. And by the way, again, I'm just waiting for Joe Gill to come back and so I can ban his ass again. That's what, your 18th account, Joe? You still can't get enough, so you want to be raunchy now? I'm raunchy Joe Gill. You see, in the movie Louis L'Amour, Joe Gill was a crusty old fart with a beard. He's like, with that, if you keep this up, I'm not going to affiliate with you. Well, guess what? You should act like Joe Gill in the book and basically not affiliate. Which reminds me, I need to check on something anyways. You know, because in this pandemic, I highly recommend, if you haven't, get some books. There you go. I want to know, is there a so this is a paperback? Is there an actual hardbound version of it? Oh yeah, hardcover right here. Oh no, that's something else. So apparently you can get the paperback for $4, and I might just do that because $4.27. I wanted the hardcover of it, but thing is they're not. They're only doing paperback. Some of these books are paperback. I wanted the. Oh, oh no, this is it's another paperback. Yeah, I like that. So, anyways, what I'm trying to tell you all is prepare for the worst, but hope for the best. So use common sense. You see, use common sense. I thought you were cooking, Mariposa. Anyways, use common sense. Oh, he's been a bully jerk for years, Mariposa. One time he said he was under his bed while white cops killed his black boyfriend. And then you can ask Higgins about this. Then he turned around and he left, right? He left the house. He left the house after 10 or 15 minutes after he was dead. And then he told his grandmother, or told us while we were doing StreamYard, that he was going to go get Taco Bell. Oh, really? Then I had a feeling that was you. So, no, here it is. Yes. Higgins, are you still with me? Because if you are, I'm going to personally give you the chance to block first. See, I had a feeling about this a long time ago. See? Can't pull off being a Cuban woman. Gut feeling was completely right. I told you this on the phone the other day, remember? You said give them the benefit of the doubt, so we did. Now I'm going to have to go and do this. Yeah, well, do you want to take care of Mariposa or do you want me to? You have the ability to. Hey, Mop, how you doing? I'm giving you first dibs before I do it, so and don't tell me you are going to think about it. You're a moderator. You take care of it. Because I'll gladly do it. Since you won't, I'll give you a minute to do it before I freaking do that. I already reported it for bullying. So first time it was sexual exploitation. Now it's bullying. What's up, huh? So, anyways, Higgs, how about I just do it and we can get out of here in a minute. There we go. Yeah, well, I hit good. You did that. I basically hit Mariposa. See? That's the thing. If you want to sit here and attack me, then you can fucking leave. You know where it's going to get you. And by the way, Joe Gill's a character named Louis L'Amour. So technically, what are you going to do now, Joe? You going to fucking come back and basically start another account to attack me? We just got moderators here all the time. I mean, literally. So who's that fucking fault? Now you've basically been left. Hopefully they ban your account. So don't blame the Republicans or Democrats. Blame them both. But blame both parties. Don't blame the president unless you really hate the guy. 3 is whoever's in power and can fix the recession. Everyone thinks that the recession will go away if we have a Democratic. The thing is these fucking people don't realize that A, they're not going to work, and B is they're living on the tax dollar, the government teat, and 3 is that they don't care. Plain and simple. Well, I reported this son of a bitch myself. That's the thing. I ain't tolerating this crap. Now my game's calling me because it's late. So hopefully, you know. Yeah, so I reported it. Higgins reported it. First it was about my cooter. Now it's about something else. So there you have it. So, anywho, yeah, well, you can blame him for that, but you know what? It's okay to take vacations. I don't have vacation. So, anywho, with that said, everyone, I want to say thanks for tuning in. Remember, check your expiration dates. Both parties are at fault. If you think the Republican Party is going to fix things, you're completely mistaken. They're just going to sit on their ass and do nothing. You're going to basically hear promises that they can't deliver. You think that they're going to fix jobs? Chairman Powell just said they need to fire 4 million people to balance out the recession. That's just going to make more people homeless, more jobless, more thefts, more stuff. So prepare for the worst and hope for the best. In the meantime, there you go. For the rest of you out there, thanks for watching, everyone. Higgins, go watch a movie. Please add, subscribe. Please post comments, leave feedback, suggestion at the subscribe button. So it's fun for your family, including your dogs, cats, bunnies, service dogs, your service bunnies. Thanks for watching, everyone, and God bless you in everything you do. And hit the bell notification, hit the thumbs up button. Also, just keep the comments nice is all we ask. Thank you. Bye-bye, and take care. Sayonara. I'm out of here.